Yeah, actually, don't get in touch with us about this one.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Deep Drop. I'm Luke McCredden and Adam Ring joins me as always. Adam, The Deep Drop. Summarise, please.
We pick some of the most random questions ever asked amongst the fishing fraternity and lay our bullshit answers over the top.
Yes. Well, that's it. That is it. That is very well described. And we have a lot of fun with it. Look, the reality is, ads, when you're talking about fishing and you're excited by fishing, there's no right or wrong. You just chat about it because we love it. It's what we love to do in our spare time. It's what we love to talk about in our spare time. It's a great combo.
It's just a combo made in heaven.
If you're new here, welcome. Great to have you on board. Fantastic. I don't know where you've found the podcast, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever it is, but love it. Subscribe, follow along. And if this is your first episode, go back. There's about 20 odd others. Have a listen, see what you think, and get involved on Instagram. Great place to do so. We have a yarn there, don't we, Ads? We love the interaction we get with so many people with so many of our questions. It's a lot of fun.
Well, that's the beauty of it. There's multiple answers for all of these questions, some serious, some not so serious, and we'd love to hear your answers because they're just as funny as anything we could ever belt out there, Luke.
And we must say, we are far from experts or professionals or scientists or I'm trying to think of other things we're not. We just love fishing. It's what we've grown up doing, and we're lucky enough to be in the industry, Ads, and it's a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's jump in.
Is the quality of fishing TV shows still there?
Oh wow, what a great question. Good timing, actually, because I was thinking about TV shows today, and I was thinking about how my viewing has really changed over the last decade or so, very much to a digital online platform, and I don't watch a lot of TV shows anymore. However, there is obviously some of the staples and the long-running shows that are on TV still that I know, like iFish and Hook, Line and Sinker, that absolutely are still quality because they've done what they've done for over 20 years, and we know the quality hasn't gotten any worse. In fact, it's gotten better with the new technology that producers are able to get their hands on. It's no doubt gotten better. But I think my eyes are firmly, and certainly the majority of viewing is online now, but that's not to say there's not quality out there. But I did think about this and I thought, let's define quality, Ads, before we get too much further into it. So I had a look. I opened up the dictionary and I thought we might as well just break this down because the quality, definition of quality, the standard of something as measured against other things of a similar kind. So when you think about it like that, it opens it up and it makes me think about all the things we can watch on fishing, whether it be digital, online, or TV or DVDs or whatever. And if you're measuring things against one another, I would argue that the quality of TV shows still outranks a lot of the other stuff that's out there, even from a digital perspective these days. So I don't know whether I've answered that or I've just sort of gone in a bit of a roundabout, but I think the vast majority of online content is cool. But is it to the quality of some of the highly produced TV shows that have been around for a little while? Not sure.
Perfect answer, Luke, because I reckon... No, in all seriousness, I reckon you've nailed it because I don't think the quality of TV shows has got any worse. As a matter of fact, it's got better, as you said, with technology. And that's, obviously you mentioned the staples, but it'd be anyone that's producing any quality content that is designed to be on, say, a network, it hasn't declined at all. I think what's become acceptable as quality has changed, because it's one of the anomalies of the world where it's the stuff that's not so good quality wise that's maybe more popular because of how accessible, and we all know how popular things like just streaming or watching stuff on YouTube or I just use YouTube because it's the easiest example, but there's heaps of ways in which you can find quality content, none of which stacks up to something that has a full production team behind it.
Yeah.
From cameras to editing to hosts. Hosting is huge.
Yes.
Luke. And it's an art form. You've got it or you don't.
Yep.
And you can definitely learn it. It is an acquired skill. You can learn it. You can get better. But some people are born with the gift of being able to present.
Yeah.
And to an extent, you can't teach that. But I'm like you. I tend to consume majority of my content via a digital space.
So I was thinking also about this with television, and we'll take out community television for a moment because it's a different conversation. But we're talking about mainstream commercial television. It can't not be fairly high quality, if that makes sense. So the difference between what's readily available from a digital standpoint, like YouTube, it's a platform that literally anyone can put content on. Anyone, like my 8-year-old son could if he wanted to. And it doesn't matter a pinch of shit what the quality's like. You can put it up there. It's a free social media platform. But you can't do that on television, on mainstream commercial television. So what the main difference is that there's no limitation of quality, high or poor, online, but there's certainly a benchmark or a level of it has to be an absolute minimum of this quality, which is quite high to be on television. So yeah, I think it's actually an interesting question, because I think it probably lends itself to talking more about the differences in quality of online. Because there's some productions that we've spoken about many times that are absolutely high quality, cinematic on YouTube, like beautiful, that people obviously put a lot of time, effort, money into. But then there's stuff that's shot on a GoPro Hero 2. Like, you know,
that's right. An iPhone 3. Or, you're right, though.
Yeah.
You're right, which is the beauty of the times we're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's interesting that you mention community TV, because I kind of see it was YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, it gave people the ability to put stuff on TV.
It doesn't need to be a commercial quality. Obviously, it's got to go through a system and be okayed to be on that platform. And there's quite strict rules around not what you put on, but how you go about it, which needs to be there. But it's more of a social media quality of production, I would say, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But then, see, quality. It's such a broad term.
Well, it's interesting when I defined it, the standard of something measured against other things, because one thing I do think about that online has done is put some pressure back on the TV shows. And I think what's happened is, not too drastically, and it probably would have got to the point anyway, it's made some of the TV shows think a bit more carefully about the production and their limitations, and not to be held back by limitations too much, because there's freedom in online. There's freedom in being able to do literally whatever you want, fly a drone up, do some flips, throw a GoPro in the ocean. So all of a sudden TV's like, all right, well, we've got to match it with that. And I'm just purely talking from a viewer point of view. I'm not involved in any TV shows or anything like that. But do you know what I mean? Like, I think it threw down a bit of a gauntlet saying, hey, over at YouTube, I can do whatever I want. What are you guys going to do?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting, because if I turned on just a mainstream commercial television channel on the TV and I saw something up there that was in the same quality as what I'd see on a general YouTube video, I'd be disgusted. And so it's even an interesting one with those that obviously mainstream television shows, and we'll talk in the fishing space, they've got to know what's happening online because it's just drawing so much. It's getting so much attention.
Yeah.
But for the productions that they're still making a production for a commercial television thing, so there are standards, and the lowest standard is so high, it's pretty hard to capture that. It needs professional gear. It costs a lot of money. Whether it's still relevant compared to the online space is a completely different question, and I'm not getting into that right now. But as far as quality goes, actual television shows, I think they've still got the quality. I'm not talking about quality of content. I'm talking about actual quality to look at.
Yep.
Through sound, through picture, through production value, it still reigns. It has to.
Yeah. And even if you averaged out all the online stuff, there's way more shit than there is good quality stuff online.
For sure.
And I'm not
Which
even
just
talking
sums
locally,
up online.
Americans, every second Americans got their own fishing channel, and a lot of it's just horrible, horrific. Can't look at it. So there's some great quality stuff out there, and plenty of it, but if you averaged it out, it'd be a pretty poor quality across the board. Like if you had to actually have an average line.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. But then the ones that are gaining the most traction, getting the most views, do have a certain they do have a certain element of production quality.
Yeah.
Like I know when I look at stuff, like if it's too shit, it could be the best fish ever. I don't want to see it.
No. So Adam, is the quality of TV shows still there?
100% still is.
Yep, I'm saying yes too.
Would fishing in a marine park be as productive as we think?
This is wow. This is actually quite interesting. So I guess this question, I'm just assuming, refers to the fact that it's a marine park and we assume that it's full of fish. I think that's what this is getting at. Do we think that, because we're not allowed to fish there, it must be chock-a-block full of fish? It's not always the case, is it? There's different reasons for areas to be cordoned off as a marine park. But so I guess this one's completely open for discussion. One thing I will say, though, just I do have an example of a time years and years and years ago. I was fishing out from Bateman's Bay in a boat. And as you know, a lot of New South Wales coast is marine park. And in particular, if anyone knows Bateman's Bay, the Tollgate Islands are out the front there. I think the whole thing pretty much is marine park around that. And also some of the headlands just to the north. We drifted in, and they're fairly close in some of these marine parks. So it's not like, it doesn't take away too much of the fishing there, or it didn't at the time. It might have changed now. But we did happen to drift in right into the marine park, and weren't fishing at the time, and our sounder lit up, and then quite literally over the side, because it's got quite shallow, there was the biggest school of giant yellowtail kingfish I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, we can't fish here. So we motored back out just to outside of the marine park, and sounded nothing, but we thought, look, let's drop some jigs and do our thing. We're free to fish here. It's all good, and just nothing. And there was just the giant, biggest school, and we would have stayed in the area for a good hour or so thinking, surely they push out at some stage. Like they're not just hanging in there. But for whatever reason, in that instance, would fishing in a marine park be as productive as we think? Absolutely.
Luke, do you remember quite a few years ago now? Now, admittedly, it wasn't a marine park, but it was kind of...
Sounds like you're covering something here.
No, it was kind of freshwater's version of marine park. There was an exclusion zone around a fair bit of structure, and we'd fished all day for yellowbelly and couldn't get one. Just to notice that every single yellowbelly in Eildon was swimming around this one piece of structure that was in an exclusion zone. Kind of similar, not the same thing, but kind of similar. So, with two examples.
Yeah.
Think about why would there be a marine park there? Let's use, just out off Ricketts Point, there's a big marine park.
Yeah, good one.
Why is it marine park?
Don't know.
Is it me?
I should have done some research.
Well, I'd assume it would be marine park because is it a nursery for small fish? Is it a spawning zone? Is it the structure? Like, you're not just going to have a marine park over a bit of sand, are you?
No, it's reef and rubble, and it's
quality structure.
Quality structure. So I'm assuming it's got something to do with the sanctuary type thing. But
do I think the fish would know that they get no fishing pressure there? Not a chance.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. Do they though?
But
I don't know.
yeah,
These kingfish were sitting tight in this marine park, I'm telling you. But there was big bommies and stuff throughout that marine park too. But so to be fair, but
so my guess, it would be as productive as we think, because it doesn't cop any pressure over pristine ground, over perfect ground for fishing.
Mm.
So say that marine park at Ricketts was opened up tomorrow.
Mm.
Give it a few months, it probably wouldn't be as good to fish.
Yeah, all right. So, but say it opened up tomorrow and you went there tomorrow, you reckon you'd smash
them.
Would you?
Yep.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't think fish live there 24/7. There's so many other factors. But if you were to bring in, if you were to look at, say, early snapper season,
yep,
no doubt you would get more quality fish in that marine park than you would just outside it.
Yeah,
no
okay.
doubt.
Geez, there's a lot of boats getting in trouble in there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But so I think there's an element of this that's case by case as well. Like, there's some marine parks that aren't even. It's probably not even necessarily like scale fish. It could be crustaceans. It could be whatever. But I think for the most part, when you think about some of these marine parks, they're in such fishy water. You just go, oh mate, please, can I go in there? And again, using the South Coast, for example, some of the marine parks there, you think, fuck, that would be a good spot to fish right now.
Oh, they would be for sure, which is why I'm sure they're probably marine park to begin with. Like you said, it's more than just fishing. I'm not saying that marine parks are only put in to keep fishermen out. You're 100% right. Whether it could be plant life, it could be crustaceans, it could be seahorse sanctuary, it could be mermaids, dugongs, who knows?
Pretty much. I love the way you said dugongs are after mermaids as if they're fake as well.
Yeah. But they're just as rare.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. It's one we'll probably never know really, because we can't go and test it.
We can't fish them.
Although, for the sake of the show,
under the cover of darkness.
No, we can't say that. But I don't know. Maybe like it's sort of thing.
I don't think it would be instantly game changing, but I do think it would be more productive more often than not.
But also, can you really can you really hold your head up high after that and say, "Oh, I had a great day out"? We'd say, "Yeah, but mate, they've opened up a marine park for one day. Of course, you had a good day out."
Yeah, it's saltwater trout farm, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, I think it's a good one. I think it's a good thought provoker. Maybe someone out there's got some thoughts they want to share with us about what they think. Don't tell us if we don't condone doing the wrong thing. So we don't be like that.
We don't care how many fish you caught in the marine park.
So don't give us success stories of a big day out. But actually don't get in touch with us about this one.
Yeah.
This is the first time we've ever told someone not to interact with our show.
I think it's the right call though, Luke.
Oh, move on.
Should introducing more fish species be considered?
Oh, wow. This is
We're going to get into some trouble on this one, Luke.
Will we?
Oh, yeah. My answer's we will.
We're getting cancelled?
Yeah.
Can they cancel a podcast?
Oh, they can try.
They could try. I don't think the people at Spotify know much about fishing.
No.
Should introducing more fish be considered?
So we're talking about bringing species from overseas and introducing them into our local waterways.
Now let's keep things simple. That happened with trout once upon a time. It's one of the premier fishing species and events of the calendar year in certainly certainly the southern states.
Yeah. So we're not condoning or recommending, but we're saying it could be successful.
What if my mind goes straight to freshwater? My mind goes straight to impoundment type things, lakes and dams and things that.
Me too, actually.
And I can't help but think straight away about just something extravagant like a peacock bass.
I was so hoping you were going to say that.
You imagine?
Because there was two species that come to my mind, and I'm so interested to see because I reckon that peacock bass was one of them.
Oof. Like, I mean, where are these found? They're in fairly fast flowing waters in is it South America?
Yeah, tropical.
Tropical
Amazon.
sort of waters. Yeah. So, we've got. I mean, it'd work.
Yeah, it would.
What's your other one?
Snakehead.
Oh Jesus. We talk about building up a great fishery and then having a species come in and just destroy the whole thing.
Yeah, it's like carp 2.0.
Wow. Yeah, look at
and obviously that's the big issue because even talk peacock bass would be the most unbelievable freshwater sport fish we've ever seen. Would they look awesome? Fight hard and would absolutely decimate our local population of native fish.
And look, we celebrated trout, but we also, European carp is one that's just devastated our fishery for. Yeah, that's a fail.
Yeah.
English perch. Are we talking about that? Redfin. Where do they? They were introduced at some point.
And they are technically classed as noxious.
Yeah.
We don't hate them as much as carp, though, do we? Do you reckon it's because they taste good?
And they look cool. Carp looks shit.
Yeah.
We've spoken about carp on the show
shit,
before.
taste
They
shit.
look shit, eat shit. At least redfin look cool, and they put up a bit of a fight. I mean, you could argue carp put up a fight
carp
too,
but they taste
anyway.
good. I'm sure if a carp was one of the best freshwater eating fish, no one would care what they're doing.
No, it's such an anyway,
is there any cool saltwater? Is there any cool saltwater species we could introduce?
I think I'd also thought about estuary and thought, and I might get some feedback here saying no, it's freshwater, but I think off the top of my head it was saltwater river systems, and I think tigerfish.
Nice.
Talk about decimate. Not only will they decimate the fish population, they'll just kill anyone who's swimming as well.
Can you imagine walking along Gunnamatta Beach, sight casting roosterfish?
Oh my God.
Make it happen.
And that's the thing, I suppose, with it. Can it be done in salt? I don't know. Because they just
maybe
fuck off.
Yeah, it might get too cold. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe.
Let's go home. Like this. Where am I?
Just swim home. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. So freshwater only.
But
do they have any fish over there that could be like, how like an estuary perch can be stocked into salt or fresh? Do you reckon we could get a redfish over here and put it in Devil Bend?
Oh,
like
wow.
if we got them in small enough.
Redfish. There's got to be situations they'd work in.
Yeah,
like you can almost picture
survive in real brackish water.
Yeah, like you could picture them making their way down, like even living in. No, I mean it's salt, pure salt, but like Lake Tyers or something in East Gippsland. Like you could picture those things getting up into the river system and then coming down the mouth and just just having a big feed. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know what I find kind of amazing now that I think about it on a different level? You have a look at how world-renowned, say, largemouth and smallmouth bass are.
Yep.
Through Asia especially.
Yep.
And obviously we know how massive it is in America. It's kind of amazing we haven't brought them over here.
Seriously, and I had noted those fish down and I just thought, they're not as flamboyant as a peacock bass or a snakehead or something, so I wasn't going to bring it up. But it kind of, you're right, it's a global sort of sensation, that fish.
Yeah. And realistically, what would it do if you were to say stock them into a closed impoundment? And I understand closed impoundments don't stay closed, so there's always the risk of fish getting out everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you were to say put them into, I don't know, any impoundment, say Lake Hume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would they take up residence? and just how detrimental would they be to, say, a yellow belly?
Yeah.
Would
Good
they,
one.
are they that much more aggressive that they would outcompete? Would they?
It's a great question.
Because it's kind of amazing they have it. They're not here, to be honest.
Yeah, and you wonder what I mean, and how many would you have to stock for them to actually sort of set in and become a thing?
Would they breed?
Would they breed? I mean, if everything was right, sure. But
Are they kind of like a trout? Do they need flowing water? Like, I don't know that much about them.
probably, I'd sort of guess so. But yeah, I don't know. It's fascinating because the thing you go to straight away is you think, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have that? But then you think, all right, what would they do? Like, how could they stuff up our local fishery? Because aside from a carp, I think the fisheries are really healthy, and you'd hate to introduce something because that could be cool, and then it just fucks everything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm like. That's why the bass one's interesting. I mean, if you were to put in, say, just a couple of million fingerlings of largemouth bass. I just had a brain aneurysm.
That was so great.
Edit that out, will you?
What? Absolutely not. What about the question then? And this is someone I know. There's some mad keen bass followers, I suppose you'd call it, because we can't fish from here. But people that watch the bass circuit and know everything about bass in the US. I'm keen for some feedback on this. What else are they competing with in the waterways over there? So are they living with other species like for like, size wise, and that they have to compete with as they grow, or are they?
Good question, because
are they the alpha fish for most of their life?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a hell of a lot, but any of the bass stuff that I've watched, they seem to be that apex predator of those systems, because there's always those crappie and bluegill and
just shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but there's nothing.
We don't want them.
You don't see in a bass tournament like them pulling in heaps of bycatch that are epic.
No, that's the thing. Like, so, yeah, I think if you were to go barra fishing for a couple of days, you'd catch plenty of bycatch. If you were to go estuary fishing down south, you get lots of different species. I guess you could argue if you're bass fishing exclusively Australian bass fishing here, you probably don't get that much bycatch either, though, do you?
No, you don't. So then I wonder, an Aussie bass versus a largemouth bass. If we were to set like American bass into some of the Aussie bass rivers, what would win?
I always back a local. You know that about me. But do you know what's funny though? Because obviously we've had an experience fishing for bass in water that was ankle deep and a metre wide. Is that the case with the American bass? Do they get them in that skinny water as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because they're everywhere.
Oh, yeah, because they get them in drains and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Okay. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know the answer to any of that. But should introducing fish be considered? It's probably not going to be considered, let's be honest. But from a fantasy point of view, it'd be pretty cool to think about.
We could think of some epic fish to put in.
If I put you on the spot now and said you could bring a fish here, it's not going to do any damage. What are you bringing over?
My brain says peacocks.
Yeah.
But my heart says like largemouth and smallmouth.
So yeah, because
I think that for some reason I think the largemouth and smallmouth seem like an actual viable. Whereas I know if you bring peacocks over, it's over. Yeah. They'll just kill everything.
So I can't keep my mind off redfish since you said that, and I've watched a lot of content on YouTube with people catching them, and I know people might think I'm going to say this because of the word red, but they genuinely remind me of but they, to me, in my mind, are what would happen if a snapper and a mulloway had babies.
Oh, for sure.
And that's exciting to think about catching something like that.
And you had me at Lake Tyers. As soon as you said Lake Tyers, I'm like, that could work. That could work.
And then if it opened up and they wanted to piss off out the front, well, that's fine.
Go for it.
Come back.
They can go and spawn in some other systems. Whatever.
True. Don't know.
Or would they? Like, are they a species like a mulloway that do congregate and spawn offshore?
Maybe.
They may stay in the estuaries.
and then you might get a few off the surf. Oh God, it's so. I do know that a couple of our listeners' ads are fishery scientists. I know that for a fact, and I've got a fair inkling that they're probably sitting there listening to this right now, going, "Shut the fuck up." Yeah. We're not.
You dumb fuckers have got no idea what you're talking about.
We're not. By the way, we're not telling anyone to try and smuggle fish over here from America.
Please don't. Please don't.
I mean, you wouldn't. How could you? I mean, it'd be fair effort. Actually, if you did it, hats off to you, because that's a magnificent effort.
I mean, but you can buy peacock bass as pets.
Oh shit! What have we done? Don't do that. Don't
No,
do
it would have been
anything
done
silly.
already.
Yeah. Well, true. Has it been done? Don't know. Anyway,
Please don't.
don't.
And
do
if
it.
you do, don't mention the deep.
Oh,
drop,
don't
please.
mention the podcast. God, what are we doing tonight? We just keep... Yeah, anyway. Don't fish in marine parks. Don't introduce fish species. Just talk about it like we did. All right, but no, all right. For the sake of the fantasy of it, let us know. If you could introduce a species that was going to have no detrimental impact, what would it be? Just purely out of fishing.
And just
Your
give us one
coolness.
species. Just
Give
so
us
that
one species. No, give us
One-
however many you want. Don't stop. Why stop at one? Ace? Don't be a
There's an
stickler.
there's an endless amount of saltwater ones, but you're right, they just fuck off.
Rooster. Oh,
Oh, big
yeah.
time,
Wow.
big time.
Big time. Anyway, but let us know. Instagram's a place to do it. So jump on there, find the question. Should introducing more fish be considered? And let us know what you think. Like, and also the largemouth bass thing. Tell us what you think about if that could potentially work. And I suppose the similarities between the waterways here and the waterways in the States that keep these fish and why it could work, why it couldn't work. I know there's some diehard bass fishing fans that listen to the show. We've spoken recently to a couple of those people, but also let us know what you'd love to see in our fishery, just purely from a coolness point of view.
Oh,
I'm saying redfish. You're saying, what did you say? Roosterfish.
roosters, yeah,
And look, throw in a couple of largemouth bass for the sake of it.
yeah, a couple of peacocks, snakehead.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
There's some cool stuff out there.
tigerfish. What? Oh no, where's my leg gone?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, that's us for tonight. I'm going to be thinking about this for the rest of the night, to be honest, Ads.
Yeah, me too.
Imagine brim
I'm gonna come up
fishing
with
and
a
then just
list.
getting spooled by redfish. Mad. If you're not sure what we're talking about, by the way, in all honesty, because some of these species are quite sort of unique and you haven't heard of any of these, jump online. There's some cool videos from
Oh, amazing.
the States and South America and parts of the world that is just, it's fascinating actually having a look at some of these fish and the way they fish for them too. A lot of fly fishing.
Yeah, especially for the roosters.
Yeah, and the redfish
Yeah.
on the flats and things like that. So anyway, let's not get carried away. Or we already have gotten carried
We already
away.
have.
If you don't do anything illegal this weekend just because you've heard this show. God,
And if you do, don't tell us about it.
no, and blame wind against tide or something like that. Anyway, jump on Instagram and get involved in the conversation. We love it. We love hearing from everyone out there. We love making the show ads because we're just talking about fishing. It's what we love to do, and we love listening to the fishing tunes, the deep drop fishing tunes on Spotify. Please jump over and have a follow. You won't be disappointed. And Ads, on that note, give us one song from the deep drop fishing tunes playlist that you recommend.
Green Spoon, More Than You Are.
Bang. There it is. Love it. Righto. We'll be back. Bye.